What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Now today I have an updated video on WeFoot Grip Socks. And I originally did my video without like trying them or testing them. In that video was like my first impressions. And since that video I've worn these a lot. These are kind of my main like socks that I wear when I do go and do my play test or whenever I just go play. So I have used the thin version, and then also here I do have like the cushion version. So I have used both socks. And so in today's video I'm just gonna give you guys an update and let you guys know how the WeFoot Grip Socks have performed and like the durability and stuff that I wasn't able to say just because I haven't tried the sock. This is the thin version, so WeFoot does have two variations. This is like the thin version, which basically has no padding. It's a super thin sock, and I actually really like this. This is my go-to, like I prefer like really thin socks, and these are very thin, no padding to it whatsoever. So I just really like these. And this is their more cushioned variation, which honestly isn't that cushioned, which is a good thing for me just because I don't really like thicker socks. And it does have some padding in like the bottom, obviously. The top for the most part does have some ventilation, so it isn't as padded. So overall, it is a thicker variation of the sock, but it's not overly thick. When I first got this, I thought it was going to be super thick, but it feels pretty nice. It just adds a little bit more like padding to like the bottom of your foot, which feels nice, but for the most part, it's not like overly thick, which I like because I honestly hate thick socks, but these feel really nice, really high quality. And these are kind of like their top end model, I believe, I guess. They do have three different variations. They have this variation which has the most pads, so here in the toe, this part, and then in the heel. And then they have another variation where it's just grip here and here, not in the toe. And then they have another variation where it's just basically like less grips in the foot. So they have different prices. So if you can't afford like the high end version, which these are, I guess, you can always try like the ones that cost less. I haven't tried those, so I can't really tell you if it's a huge difference coming from this one going down there with less grips. I feel like it's not that big of a difference, maybe just a little bit. Obviously, since there is more grips here, you're gonna get a little bit more grip. But for the most part, I feel like they're perform the same, and just because these grips are really good. Alright, so I'm not going to talk so much about the construction or the fit just because I did do that in my first initial review of these socks. The main thing I want to focus here is on the durability as well as the performance. And so we'll talk about durability. And the durability on the thin sock, I was a little bit worried just because it is such a thin material. Like I thought it was gonna not last that long just because these socks are super thin. There's like no padding to it whatsoever. So I honestly thought that they weren't gonna last that long and they were gonna like rip or just have holes. And honestly, they have held up pretty well. And like I said, I have used these socks quite a bit. You guys see in my play test and in my shorts. Always using WeFoot Grip Socks for the most part, just because, like I said, I just really like them, and the grips work really well. And you guys can see here in the heel, this is kind of where you see the most, I guess, wear, and it just fraying a little. But honestly, it's not that much. Here in the toe box, they're still pretty good for the most part. There's no holes, no rips, no nothing. Like none of the stitching has come off. It's just a little bit here in the back of the heel, which for the most part is where you kind of have the most like movement and most rubbing sometimes. But like I said, they're fine. They're not really that bad. Here in the toe box, they're fine, and the grips themselves are still in good condition. You guys can see they haven't come off or anything. They're still fine, and they still feel pretty grippy to the hand, and they still perform well. Alright, guys, so I have an update in terms of durability. You guys can see right there, these are starting to like come off a little, like this one, this one a little bit. They're starting to peel off ever so slightly, and it's been about a week and a half since I recorded that video, and yeah, these are about to like start coming off. And these are like my oldest sock. You guys can see these are like really old. These are the first ones I got, and so they're pretty old, and so they're just starting to come off, which I don't know if that's good or bad. Like I don't know if they're supposed to last this long, but yeah, I just wanted to update you guys with this. And these are the only ones that are coming off. The rest of them are fine. There's no like, they're not peeling whatsoever. It's just these right here, like in the back of the heel, they're fine, perfectly fine. It's just like those here, and these are, I believe these are fine as well. Yeah, these, no problems with this, just these right here in the midfoot. But yeah, I just wanted to update you guys. Alright, back to the video. The same thing goes with the cushion version. There's nothing that worries me really. Everything's very solid. I will say that I don't use the cushion variation all that much. Like I have used them in some of my playtests, but for the most part, my go-to are the thin variation. But then again, like I said, it's still in really good condition. I will say if you guys want your socks to last a bit longer, maybe get two pairs. That way you're rotating them and not just constantly using one pair. So maybe grabbing two pairs will help with durability in the long run. Alright, so now in terms of performance, these are pretty good. Like the grips work very, very well. Like when I wear these, I have no movement in like the sock liner. It grips really well. And I love that these have internal grips. And so the sock isn't moving at all either. You guys can see the internal grips here, and you guys can see that they're fine as well. And it just feels like the sock isn't moving at all, especially because it does have like a tighter fit. And with those internal grip socks, like the sock isn't going anywhere. And once you do have your your foot inside your boot, it grips it really well. So there's only one thing where I think WeFoot can improve on, and for me it's just adding like some grips here in the back of the heel. I've had some boots where I found that I'm kind of slipping here in the back of my heel. Not all the boots, obviously some boots just have more heel slippage than others. And so sometimes when that does happen, I can't really wear my WeFoot grip socks just because it doesn't have any grips here in the back of the heel. And since it is kind of slick, I'm just kind of slipping a little. And so I would have to use other grip socks that have grip here in the back of the heel. Maybe adding just a little bit of like pads here, like from this on the back of the heel. I feel like it'll just add on to the performance. And if they do add like grips in the back, honestly, these will probably be my favorite socks. I'll probably be using them all the time. But just because they don't have grip on the back, I can't really use them with all my boots. Some of the boots, like I said, I do have slippage, so I have to use other socks that kind of help with that problem. So with WeFoot, if you are watching this video, I would really love to see some grips in the back of the heel. And also talking about the future of WeFoot grip socks, I think they're coming out with a new variation of their sock. They did start like a Kickstarter where you kind of see like their new sock and like the grips are kind of in a whiteout. I'm not exactly sure when that new sock will come out, but once they do come out, I will be trying them and I'll let you guys know if there's any huge differences between this sock and their new sock. So I'm actually kind of excited about those. Overall, WeFoot grip socks, they are fantastic in my opinion. The fit is great. They're very comfortable. I really like the thin variation just because there is no padding whatsoever. I do like this sock right here where it's like a diamond shape and it adds just a little bit more compression. The only thing I don't really like about this variation is like the WeFoot logo here, just because you kind of do see it. I kind of like this simple logo that they do have here. So if you guys are looking for a new pair of grip socks, I would highly recommend WeFoot grip socks. And I'm not sponsored by WeFoot at all. They didn't send me these socks. I bought these socks with my own money. But I just really think they're a very good sock. And I just like sharing products that I really like and that I often wear, just so other people can try them out. Just because I do think these are an amazing pair of grip socks. Like I said, they're comfortable, the grips work really well, they perform well, durability is pretty good, and overall just a solid pair of grip socks in my opinion. So that's it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to like and subscribe. If you guys have any questions on these grip socks, just let me know in the comments down below. I'll do my best to answer them. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.